Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, my name is James. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just a real quick shout out to you guys. The channel is going crazy. It just amazes me where things are going and doors that are opening and just life in general. And I owe it all to you guys. I love you. Now, granted, someone asked me, why do you say I love you on the channel? First off, my grandbabies watch this, my kids watch this, and most importantly, I shouldn't say most importantly, but last but not least, because all of you are important to me. If you're at a point in your life where you need to hear it, you need to hear something positive, then I love you. That's what it is, guys. So, that being said, I love you, but let's get started. We're here to if I can talk today, what's the deal? We're here today to talk about bino harnesses. Now, granted, we are already planning for the 2024 season up in Colorado. I just kind of feel like I just need to plan. 2 years ago, I should say 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, we went to Colorado with no plan whatsoever, and we really, I'm gonna say, failed miserably. We almost died on a mountain several times. That was just in the truck. And we didn't know how to glass, number one. We couldn't find animals, number two, and it was just, I don't know. I had a great time camping with my brother, but we just didn't see anything, and we left with our tails between our legs, defeated as heck. But anyways, then this year we went to Colorado, and I studied maps for months, multiple maps. I think I was going back and forth between 5 maps and just really planning things out. And now looking forward to the 2024 season, I'm like, I got to get started. And it's just a lot to do between now and 2024. A lot of planning, a lot of things involved. And so today we're talking about the bino harness. Now granted, this right here I got for free with my binos when I bought them. The Vortex sent me when I ordered the binoculars, it came with this bino harness, and I was very tickled to have it. I love it. It was great. I needed a bino harness, and so why not? Like I think I have 3 pairs of binoculars now, and all 3 have this bino harness, and it works great for what it is. Now granted, on the mountain this year, we hiked up in the mountain, we were chasing elk, and it was a great time. But even when we weren't chasing elk, I found a need, and I had to fill it. That's just what it is, guys. And Black Friday was just here, so I really took advantage of this new company's Black Friday deals, as well as their outlet store, which we'll get more into that here in a second. So while I was on the mountain, I had this guy right here, and I did like it. I do like it, but at the same time, it doesn't fit my needs. Now granted, the Vortex, the binoculars, I love Vortex products. Nothing's gonna change my mind on that. I hope I said that enough. But what I found a need for when I was up there, because now first off, yeah, these are deadly weapons, in case you're wondering. Anyways, these, I don't like wearing gloves, number one. And number two, I don't like wearing gloves. That is plain simple. I can't stand wearing gloves. I like to have my sense of feel. I like to touch, when I'm touching my gun, the trigger, the safety, the scope. I just want to feel with my hands. And so I don't like gloves, even though temperatures did get up to, or I should say get down to -6, with I think it was almost a -20 wind chill. So I did have some gloves on, but not all the time, only when I really needed to. I'm kind of a pocket guy, right? I like to put my hands in my pockets when I want them. That's just the way it is, but neither here nor there. My pockets were full. I had GoPros, and so pause button right there. I had trouble last year filming in Colorado because I couldn't keep my I couldn't keep my GoPros warm, so they just kept shutting down on me. So this year what I did was I put these hot hand packets that stuck to the liner of my pockets, my pant pockets, and I put the GoPro in my pockets with them, one in each pocket. So that kept them warm, and they kept them working. So that was like my little fix for that problem this year. However, then I had my bag, my big backpack, my hunting bag. If I could just get out of my mouth. My hunting bag I had on this year, because the straps, I had no other pockets to put my hands on. And so this thing was around my neck. I had another pair of rangefinders around my neck, and I had something else around my neck, and they got tangled up, and I was getting really irritated. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up putting a couple things in here with my binoculars, and then when you go to pull your binoculars out, you end up having a yard sale all over the dang mountain, which is not fun at all. Just pulling your Phelps call out of the snow it became a pain in the butt. And then when you want to put your binoculars in, you had to clear the bag out, put your binoculars back in, put everything back in. And then when your hands are cold, and when you have gloves on or when your hands are cold, it's really hard to latch this loop here on this little hook down here. And so, oh my gosh, I can't even do it and it's warm. I found that difficult to do. And a lot of times I thought I had it latched, and then when I'm going, the wind would catch it and it would blow up into my face. I was like, are you kidding me? And so I got a little irritated with this setup. Now, granted, I do like it, but it just didn't meet my needs on the mountain. That's what I'm gonna say. So I started doing research, and I actually came down to 2 bino harnesses that I was really interested in. One being Muley Freak and the other being Eberlestock. And I thought both of them were really good, but I went one way, and then let's talk about that. Went this route. And this is the reason I went this route, guys, and we're gonna say it first and foremost, just get it out of the way. The bino harness only comes with this part right here. That's it. It does come with a little, about a 2.5 inch, maybe a 3 inch little molly piece over here, and a 2.5, 3 inch little molly piece over here, and some Velcro stuff on the back, which we'll get into here shortly. But most importantly, when I was looking at bino harnesses, I was really worried about the size of this thing right here. And when I read in one of the descriptions, it talked about it made on a large scale, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it, because I carry different binoculars with me at different times. Right now, I have this guy here with me, but normally I carry this one here, which is a 15 by 56. It's a Diamondback Vortex, and it fits these guys right here, which I was really concerned about. So I am pleased with the fact that this thing right here has a lot of space inside. Now, I'm a big guy, and I do know that when I was looking at these bino harnesses online, they looked really big on the guys that were modeling them. They don't have a dad bod like me, and so I was a little concerned when I got it. It has some ground shrinkage, but it actually has a lot of space in this thing right here, which is phenomenal. That, and number 2, has these tabs right here that you grab and pull to tighten up, which is phenomenal, because of, like the ones on the Vortex one, you actually have to grab these tabs here and you have to pull them this way. I kept cramping when I did that. I would get these little cramps. I'm like, God dang it, man, and I screw it. I just leave it like it is, because I was getting irritated. Now, as you can see, I have added on to this bino harness, but let's talk about the bino harness itself, and then we'll take it off and we'll talk about the pockets and everything else. I do like the bino harness because it does have it just has these magnetic deals here. You just pull down and boom, it's open. Pull your binos out. I do have with those, they has these little, I call them tethers. You snap these things in there so that it actually goes up, it goes right back in, and if you let go, if you drop them, whatever, they're not gonna fall. I do like these little tethers, but I also like the fact that you can unsnap them pretty easily, and you take them off. You can put them on your tripod, you can put them on wherever you want to do. But if you want here honey, or whoever you're hunting with, you want them to use them, you can just unsnap them, hand them to your partner. I do like that. So that to me was a plus. And then when you want to close it up, boom, it's really easy. And it's, even when your hands are cold, I feel like you can do that. I feel like you can just sit here, even your hands are cold, you can just use your arm and just do that, and then boom, it's back together. And so that part I like. I like the fact that it's got a good sized pocket up front, and inside this even has a few little extra sleeves here, so you can be a little bit more organized when you're out there in the field. So that to me was a big plus. It also has a few small little pouches here on the side, even better. And so I've been really pleased with what I've seen so far. But it didn't stop there, because the fact is this bino harness system is completely modular, which means you can add, take away, reorganize, whatever you want to do. It comes with you can have a bear spray. You can have a bear spray holder here. You can probably put a bottle of water in it if you really want to. I know I have a little pocket here, which is great. I can put some stuff in here. Not sure exactly how I'm going to organize it yet, but I do like the fact that I have this attachment on there, and it even came with this little attachment, this little box here. I say it came with it, it didn't come with it, but when I ordered the bino harness, it was like, hey, for an extra $10 you can get this. So I did opt to get this, which is pretty phenomenal. Let's take it off and talk about it a little more. What I will say is this, is that we do have this pocket here, which I think is great. And it did look bigger on the models that they had modeling this thing, and so I was a little disappointed. I kind of thought it was going to be bigger, but that's what it is. It is a good. I do think it is a good size compartment. I just kind of expected it to be bigger when I got it, but that's okay. What I do like the fact that is that this thing here attaches via this Velcro piece like here. This piece sandwiches in between the two pieces of Velcro that are on this thing. What I do like is I'm not a, how would you say, I'm not a glove wearing guy, even though I did wear gloves in Colorado this last time. It got down to -20 windshield, guys. I did have some gloves on, but I'm not one to really like wearing gloves. When my hands get cold, I like to stick them in my pockets. The problem is with the way I had my, like, so my pant pockets, for example. I had my GoPros in there, and they were like, why'd you have your GoPros in your pant pockets? Well, first off, I had trouble last year in Colorado when it wasn't as cold, keeping them running because it was too cold for the GoPro. So what I did was I put these hot hand things in my pockets and put the GoPro in there to keep them warm, and then when I needed them, they worked. And so I didn't have my pant pockets available. My jacket pockets were not available because the strap from my bag on my back went across there, so those pockets weren't usable. And so I didn't really have anything for my hands. I did have some gloves. I did lose my gloves on the mountain. Figures, we'll get into that in a second. But what I do like is there's another thing that you can get from Eberlestock that attaches back here as well, and it's actually a hand warmer that sits below this, which I do kind of like that idea. Initially I was like, I don't know if I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to get it. I'm probably going to wait a little bit, but I'm probably going to get it just because I don't like gloves. It does give me options right here because I know I'm going to be limited on pocket space. So I'm probably going to end up getting it. What I would say is that on a negative part so far, this is a molly piece right here, and it's only about 3 inches from here to here, but it has like 2 little mollies. That's it, 2 little strip for mollies. That's all it's got. I kind of wish it would be bigger. I do, and the reason being is because this thing right here, again, buy this. You get this for $10. So I bought this bag. I thought it would have molly. It doesn't. So what I did is it has these little straps, these little buckle straps. I actually just mollied the buckle strap in there and then tightened them down, and it seems to be holding really, really well. This one here goes through the molly system. This one here just goes over the strap. That's what that is. It just goes over the top. Kind of mollied it through here and it went over the strap and then came out the bottom, buckled it, tightened it down. It seems to be holding really well. So I don't really have any complaints necessarily. I just kind of wish that the molly system would come out a little bit further just so that I could molly it here, but it is what it is. We'll talk a little bit about this holster in a minute. I just like the way, to me, Eberlestock built this thing so that it can be interchangeable. You can fit it to your needs, whatever you specifically like, whatever you specifically want, you can really make it happen. And I do like that fact. I do like it. You're not tied down to anything specific like some other brands you are. Like, you just have what they have and that's it. Now what I did is I do typically want to keep the price a little bit low on some of the things I buy, just simply because I just don't have all the money in the world. Now, and with that being said, is now sometimes I've regretted by going cheap and then wish I'd have just saved up a little bit more money and got something a little more expensive. That being said, if I can find something low and cheap and it works, I'll spread the news to you guys. I think that's only fair, right? Now, what I will say is this right here, is that this right here is a holster from Wolf Tactical that I got. I do like it because it's not really made for a specific gun. You can adjust it with pieces of Velcro and different things that it has. You can actually adjust this gun or this holster to fit a certain gun. I actually pulled out an old Glock 40 and put it in there and made some adjustments so that it would fit. I was just messing around with it. Am I going to take that Glock with me to the mountains? No. That Glock has had tens of thousands of rounds to it, and it's retired. We'll put it that way. Now, I am probably going to carry a Glock. I just don't know which one or what I'm going to carry, but to me, there's no better gun than having the mountains with you that's going to work than a Glock, and that's just what it's going to be, guys. Am I a Glock fan? I'm a fan of a lot of guns, and Glock being one of them. Yes, they are ugly, but they work. Now, the only negative thing I have found so far with this holster, I do like a holster because you can change it, you can move it, you can do whatever you want to make it fit a gun. I do like that. But what I don't like is that the snap is on this side. And what I mean by that is typically when you have a gun with a snap, you come down with your thumb here, your thumb here hits the snap, and then you pull the gun.
The problem is the snap is on this side. So, and the fact that the pistol is going to be high, so I'm probably going to have to do some kind of like this and come over the top. I'm not real sure yet. That's just kind of what I'm thinking in my mind that I'm going to have to do. But when it gets close to time, I'm going to have to really practice so that when the time needs, I already have the muscle memory there and I can act. Now the snap is a little tough. I'm hoping it gets a little bit more worn in and gets a little looser, so it makes it easier to draw. All in all, so far so good. I love this bino harness. I am very excited about this bino harness. Man, I think the sky's the limit as far as the modularity of it. You don't have to buy Molle stuff from Eberlestock, because a lot of things nowadays when it says tactical on it is going to be Molle on the back. And so I do like the fact that I can, if Eberlestock doesn't necessarily have a pocket that I like, I can actually go to Academy, or I can go Bass Pro, or Cabela's actually has a lot of Molle stuff. I can actually go there and look at what they have, like, oh, I like that one better. So I can actually add to this system with it not necessarily being so expensive like Eberlestock typically is. But so far so good. I do like what I see. The quality is phenomenal. As we use this thing through deer season here, as we use it through hiking, because we have a lot of work to do to get ready for next year. I'm really hoping to kind of put this thing through some tests and see if I really like it. So far so good. Now what I will say is this, is one of the things I was concerned about getting binos or a bino harness is I was a little worried about size. And what I mean by that is I was concerned about, because some of the ones I looked at, I can't remember the brand name, I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but they actually have a really good warranty as well. I was tempted to get one of those, but this part right here seemed awfully small to me. Now this right here is a pair of Diamondbacks. It's 10 by 42. It is one I like to just use and throw up when I need them. This to me is what most of them are sized on, and when you put this thing in here, it is like loose. There's a lot of space in here. All I really wanted it was this thing to be big enough to hold these Vortex. These are 15 by 56. I want to be specific. It's a Diamondback 15 by 56, and it will actually fit these binos. It's a little bit snug, but they do go all the way in, and this thing does close over the top, and it does fit. And that's really all I wanted, to make sure it fit these binos, because I don't always, it depends on when I'm going to Colorado, what I'm going to do. Sometimes I carry these, sometimes I carry these. These are typically ones I use more for glassing, but I have carried them in my bino harness before, and I just want to make sure they were big enough to fit in here. And this thing it has a lot of space. I do like it. I like the fact that it's modular. I like the fact that I can change it up. I like the fact that it has a lot of space in here. And man, this thing is just, it's stinking cool, man. I like it. I'm very happy. I like the material, I like the quality. Oh, I just can't say enough. So far so good. Now once we start testing it, if I start seeing some problems, I'll definitely let y'all know. But right now my initial reaction is it is phenomenal, which I wouldn't expect anything less from Eberlestock. If it's not phenomenal, it's probably not Eberlestock. But so far so good. I do like it. And no, I don't get paid by Vortex. I don't get paid by Eberlestock. Very obviously, if you look at my subscribers, don't have a whole lot. But it is growing thanks to you guys. I do love y'all. And I hope that helps. Right now, I am satisfied with what I have, the product I have. I think this moving forward is going to be a better product for us. And you know, we'll go from there. We'll keep testing it. Now, granted, if you guys know of something that's better or just as good, that's not as expensive, let me know. I'm all about keeping the price down so that you can enjoy the trip. Because some of these things, some of these products, like I noticed, I'm not going to say the brand, but Black Friday, they had a huge sale. And they were like 30-40% off, up to 70%. So I clicked on it. Their pants are still almost $200. Like, no, man, I'm just not, no. I just can't, I just can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not spending that much money. But with Black Friday, this bino harness thing was really good price, and I'm really happy with it. So anyways, I love you guys. Hope the information helps. Like I said, if you have something that's just as good or better, let me know. We'll check it out. I love y'all. See you next week.